The topic for today's satsang is awakening. I will begin by defining it as a shift in consciousness. Awakening can come about gradually or suddenly. When we looked at dejection, we saw that dejection resulted from an abrupt or sudden awakening. You can also define awakening as a removal of your ignorance. You awaken to something. When we begin this journey, we are ignorant about many things. But primarily, we are ignorant of this entire dimension of life, which underlies the sensory world. So most of us are aware of this world of sense objects, the world of matter, and of mind, and of emotions, of forms. So when we awaken from this to something else. And when we awaken, we spend time trying to figure out, we seek to figure out what we have awakened to. Because for most people, there was no primary or school education about this entire dimension. So when you awaken is when you start educating yourself about this entire other world. Now, awakening is not a one-time event. On the spiritual journey, in the process of yoga, there is a series of awakenings that take you into deeper and deeper states of consciousness. But most popularly, when you say, I had an awakening, people typically refer to the first time that they awoke to the existence of this other dimension, the inner dimension, or the spiritual dimension of life. So we awaken from our normal world of senses and mind to this world of spirit and consciousness. So when you awaken, you can state it that you become aware of something that until that point you were ignorant of. So when you first awaken, you become aware that you are consciousness. You become aware that you are consciousness and that you have a mind, you have a body, you have emotions, you have desires. And then you can go through further awakenings. You can awaken to experience that which you were up until that point only aware of. So it is one thing to be aware that you are consciousness, and it's another thing to experience the consciousness itself. Either you as consciousness or someone else as consciousness. And you keep going, and each awakening removes some of your ignorance. You can call it a veil, or you go through a veil. There are various languaging people use. to describe this. You can awaken to the inner dimension. You can awaken to the fact that you have thoughts, you have desires. You become aware that you are not that. And as you go along, you awaken to the universal layer of consciousness. You awaken to the fact that you don't really stop at the boundaries of your body, but that in consciousness you exist far beyond the boundaries of the body. And then you awaken to the consciousness that underlies all creation. The Bhagavad Gita has a verse which explains this. It's verse 69 in chapter 2. That which is like night to all beings, there the self-controlled is awake. And that which keeps all beings awake is like night to the seer. This is Swami Sri Atmananda's English translation of that Sanskrit verse. But the night and the day is a way of referring to the fact that when we fall asleep at night, we are oblivious to the world. And when we are awake, we are aware of the world around us. That which is like night to all beings, the inner dimension is like night to all beings because they are unaware of it. It's like they are asleep, they don't know it exists. In that dimension, the self-controlled, the yogi, is awake to it. You have awakened to that dimension. And that which keeps all beings awake, meaning this world of objects and mind and desires, which is where all beings are awake, the seer is oblivious or withdrawn from this world. So this world is like night. And that's a shift in consciousness. You can call it ascending, awakening, becoming more conscious. Another way to put it, as you awaken, your perception increases. It's not like what you become aware of didn't exist. It just didn't exist in your perception. So as you awaken or become more conscious, your ability to perceive increases, and you begin to perceive life more fully. You begin to perceive more and more of life, unfiltered by your mental beliefs, unaltered by the impressions of your past experiences, unfiltered by your intellectual ruminations, unfiltered by your repulsions or attachments. You begin to perceive life just as it is. That is awakening. You are awakening to life in its full magnificence, not just to its sensory aspect, but to life itself in all its dimensions, all its richness. When you are fully awakened, there is no more ignorance. In Sanskrit, it's avidya is the term for ignorance. And when there is no more ignorance about life and about yourself, there is no more asmita, which is identification as I, the individual existence. When you remove ignorance, you also remove false identification with the limited individual self that we thought we were, or we believed we were. And only then do we perceive the underlying oneness of existence, and that we are a part of and a reflection of that existence.